The US presidential election journey starts with primaries and caucuses. These are events where party members vote to choose their candidate. Primaries are like regular elections where people go to polling places to vote. Caucuses are meetings where party members gather to discuss and vote on candidates. Each state has its own primary or caucus. Some states hold primaries while others have caucuses. States like Iowa and New Hampshire are famous for their early primaries and caucuses. These early events are important because they can build momentum for a candidate. In 2024, the primary season will see many candidates vying for their party's nomination. Voters in each state will help narrow down the field. By the end of the primary season, each party will have a clear frontrunner. The candidates with the most support move on to the next step. They aim to secure enough delegates who will support them at the national conventions. This first phase sets the stage for the rest of the election year. After the primaries and caucuses, parties hold national conventions. These conventions are big meetings where delegates officially nominate their candidate. For 2024, the Democratic and Republican conventions will be key events to watch. At the conventions, delegates cast their votes based on the results of the primaries and caucuses. These events are also about unifying the party. Leaders and candidates speak to rally support and outline their visions. Conventions are a time for parties to come together. They set the tone for the general election campaign. The candidates officially accept their nominations and give speeches to inspire voters. These conventions are covered by the media and attract a lot of attention. They mark the transition from the primary season to the general election campaign. The goal is to present a united front and gain momentum heading into the final phase of the election. Once the conventions are over, the general election campaign begins. This is where the nominees from each party compete to win the presidency. The campaign is a crucial time for candidates to reach voters and explain their plans. Candidates travel across the country, holding rallies and giving speeches. They also participate in debates where they discuss their ideas and policies. Media coverage plays a big role, helping voters learn about each candidate's platform. Advertising is a key part of the campaign. Candidates create ads to highlight their strengths and criticize their opponents. These ads are shown on TV, online, and in other media. Campaigns also use social media to connect with voters. The general election campaign is intense and competitive. Candidates work hard to win over undecided voters and those in swing states. These states can go either way and often decide the election. The campaign is about building support and persuading as many voters as possible. Section 4. Election Day, casting the ballots. Election Day is the culmination of the election process. It takes place on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. In 2024, Election Day will be on November 5th. On this day, millions of Americans will go to the polls to cast their votes. Voters choose between the candidates for president and other offices. They can vote in person at polling places or by mail. Each state has its own rules for voting. It's important for voters to know these rules to ensure their votes count. On Election Day, the results start coming in as soon as the polls close. News organizations report the results as they are counted. In some cases, the winner is clear on election night. In others, it might take longer to determine the outcome. Election Day is a critical moment in the democratic process. It's when the voices of the people are heard. The results of this day will lead to the next step, the Electoral College. Section 5. The Electoral College, deciding the winner. The Electoral College is a unique feature of the US election system. It's not the popular vote that decides the president, but the Electoral College. Each state has a certain number of electors based on its population. There are 538 electors in total, and a candidate needs 270 to win. When voters cast their ballots on Election Day, they are actually voting for a slate of electors. These electors then vote for the president. Most states use a winner-take-all system. This means the candidate with the most votes in a state gets all its electoral votes. The Electoral College system can lead to situations where a candidate wins the popular vote but loses the election. This has happened in several elections, including in 2000 and 2016. It can be controversial, but it's the system the US uses. Understanding the Electoral College is important. It shows why some states get more attention than others. Candidates focus on winning the states with the most electoral votes and the swing states that could go either way. Section 6. The importance of understanding the process. Understanding the US presidential election process is crucial for informed voting. Each step, from primaries to the Electoral College, plays a role in deciding the next president. Knowing how it works helps voters make sense of the election. Primaries and caucuses are the first step. They narrow down the field of candidates. National conventions officially nominate the candidates and unify the parties. The general election campaign is about reaching voters and winning support. Election day is when voters cast their ballots. The Electoral College then decides the winner. This system can be complex, but it's designed to balance different interests. Being informed about the election process empowers voters. It ensures that they understand how their votes contribute to the outcome. It also highlights the importance of participation in democracy. Every vote counts, and understanding the process is a key part of being an engaged citizen.